Welcome or welcome back. Tisha here. After all these years, Cody has decided to let us know that he's been treated unfairly. Say what the bleep the bleep 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 bleep. He cannot be serious. Seriously. Who really has been treated unfairly? In a recent article with People magazine, the molting bald eagle himself had some things to say. You see, he's been hanging a lot around the bird so long that he has now taken on her victim mindset. So, Kody Brown, the title, used to think that polygamy was unfair because I never felt I could get out, but my wives could. Say what? He couldn't get out, but his wives could. Cody was being held hostage by not one, not two, but three OG ladies that just wouldn't or couldn't let him go. Okay, let me focus. According to the article, he's calling his eventual split with Christine, Janelle, and Mary Brown a negotiation. Quotes, I'm confused because to my knowledge, he didn't negotiate a thing. He won't even allow Mary to have the 4 acres which she desired. So what's the negotiation? Cody told People that he chose to settle into whatever life continues to give him. And now that they've chosen to not be in it. Forget what life gave him. Let's talk about what his wives gave him. Like all that money, like the $1 million home, beautiful children, help to get on this show. Money, 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 money. Money. Y'all know what happens when I'm like this. I get a little silly. Don't mind me. The point is, these women have carried this man on their backs for years, while he is able to walk around Coyote Pass and places like it and act like he's Woody the Woodpecker, continuously chopping wood. The article was written by Emily and Esther on January 23rd of this year. Okay? He says it's unfair. Sorry, I was reading something. Let's begin. As his plural marriage is closer to its demise, Cody Brown admits he began to believe that polygamy was unfair until he reframed his mindset into something more positive. But when his wife gave examples of how they thought that polygamy was sometimes unfair or difficult or complicated, he often couldn't see it. So I want to know who he's saying that polygamy is unfair to. Because we've seen his wives saying that it's been unfair for years and he refused to acknowledge it. But now because he sees it as unfair, we're supposed to acknowledge it. So in an exclusive conversation with People, the Sister Wife star 55 revealed that he first concluded that plural marriage was completely unfair after much thought, much reflection, much prayer, and long discussions with friends. I want to know what friends. Was it the friends that we saw him with on the TV show? His brother-in-law that basically sat there and listened to him in season 18, while Cody readily admitted to disengaging with different wives at various times, going to his favorite wife when he was bothered or not receiving something that he necessarily wanted from the wife that he was with. I'm just wondering. He added, there is not a disparity in fairness if there's not a disparity in choice. Once again, I say what? He says it wasn't until his marriages imploded that he removed himself from thinking it was unfair. Janelle, Mary, Christine, and even Robin have their choice whether they stay in this relationship or not, he explained. And my question is, but did they? I would love to say that they did, but there's parts of me that wonder if they did, because I thought their religion said that once they were spiritually married, that they were bound together for eternity. Robin even just told us several seasons ago that they would be bound unless they went to the church or unless the wife slept with somebody else. Now, how true that is, we don't know, but I'm just saying. So with all of that, how could they just leave? These women couldn't even choose what night they saw him, or if he would or wouldn't tuck in their kids, or if he'd go to the hospital with them during life-changing surgeries. But we're supposed to believe that they really felt like they had a choice. You see, unlike Cody, those OG3 women really believed in the teachings of polygamy. They believed in the doctrine. What is clear to me now is that Cody did not. Cody was in it for the benefits. Mary got him into polygamy and was heavily influenced by him. Janelle had the home, the money, and the career. And Christine had the status. And the bird, aka Sabin, aka Robin, aka Nike Check, aka Vulture, aka Liar, aka Deceiver, aka Manipulator, aka Liebrows. All names in which we've called her brought her 3 needy kids, her debt, and her cookie. Because a lot of what Cody spoke of that was so endearing to him with Robin, especially on his recent things with the manosphere and stuff of that nature, is all about her looks. He was very much so physically attracted to her. And I still believe that no matter at what size she currently is, that Janelle is prettier than that bird. According to Cody, now that they've chosen not to be in the marriage, the choice has been made, and he's going to continue to settle into whatever life continues to give him. So then I feel like Cody should be ready for his karma then too. Because after what he's done to these families, he deserves it. He deserves to settle into poverty, the poverty that he's so scared of, or the boring wife who always looks so depressed, or what it feels like to not have a phenomenal cook in the household, or what it feels like to not be able to enjoy holidays with his children because of how he's treated them. Or the fact that those OG3 ladies are better without him and his not so golden locks. The article continues. Cody confessed he previously felt like he could never get out of these relationships. Cody said he had different standards for his wives. I gotta keep clapping. For the first time in this article, this is the first honest thing that he said, that he has different standards for his wives. Let's be clear. Everyone else who was watching this show, even his children at various points, knew that Cody had different standards for the various wives. It was evident by the way they were treated, as well as by how they lived. How is it that Janelle, who at one point was making even more money than Cody, who may not have clearly came out and said it, but was very much so the breadwinner, had her kids not only living in a smaller home, but receiving hand-me-downs over the years from the bird? That's because it is a different standard. Or that Christine's children have openly spoken about how they were treated differently by their father. That's because it's a different standard. Or about how the young ladies always felt like Kody gravitated towards the boys. Or about how the family was made to make sure that Robin and her children felt included. Or about how Christine's feelings didn't matter, but Robin's did. Or that Kody openly listened to suggestions made by Robin, whereas Christine's were not down. Or about the time when they decided to do the business, and even though it made more sense for them to do a business that may have required a larger down payment with Janelle's idea of the gym, but they decided to go with something called the Sister Wives Closet because it was always his dear bird's desire to have her own store. Clearly, he set a different standard. He adds, I always felt like my wives had the opportunity to get out. Technically, our breakups, mine, Mary's, mine and Christine's even, with all my bitterness and frustration with it, it technically was a negotiation. We negotiated a breakup. As I said earlier, what does the negotiation consist of? Because I'm still confused. What was the negotiation? That they would fake like everything was okay on camera while he dogged them out once the cameras were off? That they would fake like they had a functional marriage even though they all knew they didn't? That they would fake like they were happy even though they weren't? That Christine will put aside her feelings and oftentimes be seen by us as a nag even though all she was voicing the truth of the matter? What was the negotiation? Or is it maybe that they would still keep his secrets, even though they have ample opportunity to still throw him under the bus, but they've chosen to protect him because of his kids? Because I have a feeling if we were really told some of the things that went on and some of the things that Kody did, example, how upset we got when we found out about him melting that ring that Mary gave him, I feel like he would lose what little pull he has left. Kody says, it's been a dark time, but I'm moving forward. I'm looking at these women with forgiveness, with love, with kindness. We're going to be connected for the rest of our lives because of our children. The best we can do is be kind to each other, yet Kody is the one who's been the most unkind. What exactly does Kody need to forgive them for? For doing the very thing that you claimed that you couldn't do because you were stuck? For them leaving? For them taking a stand? For them seeking happiness? For them taking away their money? For them once living their lives for themselves? This fool who says he's forgiven them, I think really deep down feels like he did nothing wrong. Within 14 months, 3 of the sister wives' patriarch marriage crumbled. Kody's third wife, Christine Brown, was the first to leave. Later in December, it was revealed that he had separated from Janelle, who he's still separated from. You already know how I feel about that. A month after that, his union with his first wife, Mary, was confirmed in January after the pair's relationship had been platonic and distant for years. Now, Robin Brown is his only remaining wife. And the good news is Mary has moved on too. Let the church say amen. Let the crowd go wild. Good for them. Because you keep making it seem like you were stuck and you don't understand why you continue to have problems with your children when you're telling the world that you felt stuck with their moms. While speaking to People in December 2023, Kody revealed that he and each of his former wives were all at different points in accepting and rejecting the changes that have come with the end of their decades-long polygamous arrangement. Are they at different points, or is he? I don't want to hear him keep talking about where the wives are, because He doesn't know how to communicate effectively with the wives. He doesn't listen when the wives are speaking. So I don't care what Kody has to say about the wives, or should I say his ex-wives, and a possible because of the separation. Kody says, it's sad. It's heartbreaking. You're looking for answers in a state of confusion. Once again, the only answer you can make if you want to have a good relationship is moving forward with a lot of charity. So I said, what does he feel charity is? Let me look it up. Kindness and tolerance in judging others. Love of humankind, typically in a Christian context. Faith, hope, and charity. Love of humankind. Love of humankind. Kody wouldn't know what kindness, tolerance, or love is. I still believe that Kody doesn't know what love is. Because love is unconditional and he has a conditional form of love. He continued, you have to express forgiveness to the people you've been involved with. You have to express understanding and hope that at the end of an era for us as a family, we still have hope of a friendship and a loving or kind relationship with each other in the future because we're bound forever through our kids. So which PR person told him to say this? Because this is the same man who has no desire to be around Christine. This is the same man who has no desire to vacation with them. Robin is the one who said she would consider it, even though Robin at various points has told us that she's felt unsafe and all these other things. She's the one who said that she would consider it. So what is Kody talking about now? Has he changed the way he views things? I want Kody to make up his mind. Because Kody acts like he was so bound and he's so above all these things, but there's so many different things that Kody said to contradict even what he's saying in this article. You wanted them to leave, but when Christine was leaving, it was like a knife in your kidney. You wanted them to leave, but then you threatened Christine basically by acting like you were going to get custody so that she couldn't leave. Once again, make up your mind. Kody is so full of himself that it makes me sick, and he rewrites history all the time. He lies so much that I feel like he confuses himself into believing the bird crap that comes out of his mouth. I want to leave this as a thought that was said on one of my rewatch videos more recently, and it was written by Tia. I think it's funny how Kody's always talking about what makes a good sister wife and Robin always explaining how to be a sister wife when Kody was introduced to polygamy as an adult when his parents entered the faith and Robin's mother lived like a mistress, not in a plural family. Kody chose wives in the beginning based on how much worship they bestowed upon him. I agree. I do not think it had to do with polygamy. I think it had to do with his ego. And as I said before, his desire to get closer with his father. If they made him feel like a rock star, they were in. I think Robin is very immature with almost no emotional intelligence. She can't see anything past herself, and that includes even putting her desires above her children. And I'd like to add, definitely the family. Robin kept her little family separate and alienated from the rest of the family, and now cries about her younger children not remembering their siblings' names and all her children feeling like they were voted off the Brown family island. But for years, this was all done by design, and it was. Which further goes back into Kody sitting here acting like he was stuck, but Kody just didn't have the balls to get out. Kody wanted out. Kody could easily say he wanted out, especially because he didn't really believe in a lot of the principle, because if he did, he would have handled himself differently than he did. He would have dealt with his issues. He would have exhibited forgiveness. He would have shown love. This family dynamic no longer serves Robin's interests. So now it's a problem and has become someone else's fault that her and her children place in the family is like it is. Christine should have listened to her gut and spoke out louder and more often, exposing all the truths about what was going on with Robin and Kody. It might have stopped some of the behaviors. Maybe. I also think Robin was and is very jealous of Christine, and she is, you know, the woman that does it all. And Christine's role within the family made small but meaningful comments to Cody about how insecure and threatening Christine made her feel. So to make Robin feel better, Cody took every opportunity to poop on Christine and knock her down a peg or two for Robin's sake and peace of mind, which goes back into how he did not treat his family right. He did not treat his wives right. He did not honor them. He somewhat tolerated them. I think Cody is taking forever to get over Christine now because he knows he lost a real one. And I know that drives Robin freaking insane. Tia, you're right. Everything that you said is right. I completely agree. And I feel like articles like this one that I read are examples of Cody trying to fix his image and try to make excuses. Because you're saying that you used to feel like polygamy was unfair, when at moments when we saw Mary, example, say something like, what if I were to be with 3 men? You couldn't even fathom it because it was so vile in your mind. At no point did he take time to feel what they were feeling. And if he wants to talk about how he's spoken to friends, I think one of those friends that he would have benefited from speaking to is a friend that at this point has had a successful polygamous marriage, which is Joe. In my book that I most recently read, Love Times 3, I didn't write it, I said my book, but y'all get it. One of the things that Joe spoke about is how he realized in a moment when another man was dancing with his wife, how his wives must feel in seeing him at times with each other, because he, even though he knew his wife wasn't doing anything inappropriately, felt jealousy, which is what Mary was trying to get him to kind of see. Cody is trying to do a PR cleanup, and I'm interested in seeing what else is said. I'll continue to look here and there because even though they're not currently showing us anything, I have a feeling we're going to keep on seeing things here and there. You all, if you have not done so already, please like the video, please comment, please subscribe. Until next time.